Hello, morning. Woo. It's a sort of fresh February morning, and tide's pretty much low tide actually. In fact, if you look right over there, you can hardly get through there with the sandbank there, or the mud bank there, mud flat. Here's Lulu, patiently waiting. Haven't taken the cover off yet. Let's have a little look, see what she's like. That's that draining. We'll just leave her to drain. I can't tell you how excited I get to get down here, just being around all these boats and with Lulu. It's just amazing. I'm so lucky to be able to do this, even just one day a week. I really love it. And I think when I set this channel up, it was all about, or the background to it was all about me having worked so hard all my life, and actually getting to a point in my life where I needed a break. I needed to do something. Otherwise, I was going to break, and everything was fine, but I just knew that years and years of 60 hours a week, whether it were for someone else or my own business, takes its toll on you. And I was always brought up as a classic Generation X, where you work hard, you're resourceful, you're left to your own devices, and and that through life has been the theme of my life, really, getting on with stuff and working hard. And I've enjoyed working hard, but it catches up with you. And this, and let's not forget Mocking D, have been my saviour in many ways. So now I've calmed down what I do. I've said no to quite a few things and people, and I have a day off a week now. I work 4 days a week, and it's just been amazing to do that. Just that small change has been incredible. I'm trying to close my own business down now, but I'm failing at doing that miserably. But even when I did employ people, we had a 4-hour week, and I would implore anybody that is in that position to do a 4-day week, to try and do it, because it really does work. And by the way, it's not 5 days in 4, it's a proper 4-day week. It's a 30-hour or whatever it is week. And do you know what happens? Everyone's happier, everyone is much more sound of mind, and you know what? Productivity went up anyway. We got more done in those 4 days than we did in the 5, in the 30 hours. So it's a no-brainer, isn't it, really? But anyway, just thought I'd share that with you. So while we're waiting for the boat to empty of water, and we really do need it to empty, what I've done, I've actually bought, as you well know, a set of these bolts. Unfortunately, I'm still waiting for the bottom ones to come. And I also bought a new motor pad, and the main reason for that was you can see this split here. You don't think you can buy the chocks separately. I've not been able to, and I felt that I think it was only £28 for the whole pad. So we're going to get this off, and I've noticed that inside, if you look at those bolts on the inside, you may just be able to see, I don't know, but they are a little bit rusty. So it does warn you in the buying guide, actually, of the Lugger that Drascombe published, that you need to check these bolts, because if they're a little bit rusty, and I mean, you can see this one here is a little bit rusty, and that one, and to be honest with you, these have seen better days, haven't they? They're galvanised, but they do fail, and this has probably not been changed for the life of the boat, so it's definitely time to get rid of them. So the first job today is to get ourselves right into the back here, and try and get these bolts out, and I'm hoping I can do it on my own. I may have to enlist the help of someone else, hopefully not, but we'll see what we can do ourselves, and we'll take it from there. So I'm hoping you can see that. You can see the two bolts, the one there, and then there's one just there. and they're the same the other side. And if you look carefully at that top one, you can see it's definitely rusty. That's the one, the 17. Hopefully. Oh, well, that one's smaller than that. Let's try and get that one off first, see what happens. Right, there we go. That's behaved itself quite well. So let's get that one off first. Oh, I'm not going to lie, it's still 4 degrees out there. It's rising to about 10 later this morning, but having just used the sponge to get rid of a lot of water at the bone, my hands are numb as anything. Just one of those things where you just have to keep at it, and eventually it'll come off. But I can see the main thread isn't spinning, which is good news. Otherwise I'd have to enlist the help of someone to stop that spinning from the outside. There we go, that's one bolt done. Now we're going to need to knock that out somehow, but very carefully. Whoop. It's quite rusty, that. So I'm going to come back to that side. This side, weirdly, is a bit different. The polystyrene's sticking out, so I can't use the spanner very easily, but I have loosened the lower bolt, and I'm going to use my ratchet spanner, because the thread's not coming out enough there. The trouble with these are you've only got about that much thread that will go in here before it stops, so I don't think I'm going to be able to get the top ones with it, but this bottom one I'll be able to do with this. Whew. So the bottom 2 bolts have come out fine. They'll just need either tapping out carefully or you know, we'll work around it, but the bolts have come off fine. The top ones that are rusted are a different story. So we've got a few problems on the left hand side. The bolt's actually kind of at an angle, and it's sort of embedded itself into the fiberglass a little bit. There's no washers been used, so it's very hard to get like the spanner over the top edge, and it keeps slipping off. I managed to just get a really good bit of grip with the 15mm little hex bolt head, but I could hear the rust crackling a bit, but I don't know whether that was just the rust coming off the bolt or whether it was actually the bolt turning. So that's the story with that one. The other side of the bolt, the thread is a bit too long for these hex bolts to fit. So I've got 2 more options I'm going to try now. First of all, I've got my adjustable spanner, and this is quite a big one. They're not very good, these are a bit cheap, and they just don't work so well for, you know, heavy duty stuff. The other thing is I've got this little thing that I've had for years. It's like I don't know if you can see that, like a multi, these little things are sprung loaded, so it kind of fits over any shape, and it allows you to sort of then undo it. So the beauty of this is it's got a little bit more depth, I think, to go down, and it might just work with these awkward bolts. So we're going to try that, but before we do that, I'm going to probably spray the bolts. I think I've got my WD-40, or I could ask for something here, and I think what we'll try and do is spray the bolts to get them a little bit loosened up. So Mike is the boatyard owner. Mike to the rescue. I didn't have any WD-40 in the van, I don't know where it's gone, but he's given me some WD-40. And then this, I've heard of this before, Loosen It. And this is like special bolt loosener. So we're going to stick a load of this on the bolts. We'll do something else, and then we will, we'll see if we can get these blooming bolts off. Oh. It's not very spray, this, but it's coming out. There we go. So I think that'll do. We'll try that side. We'll try the WD-40 the other, and then we'll leave it and we'll see if we can get those bolts off. I forgot to bring my anchor, but these are, let's try and get the camera in the middle. these are my anchor chocks. These will slide over like this. You can adjust them. And then of course these have got the screw points in. That should hold the anchor in there. So to drop it and pull it back, and you can tie the anchor off either on here or we could put a little cleat somewhere back there. And then we'll just make sure these are in the right position for the width. And then hopefully that'll hold the anchor lower than the bowsprit, which is the idea of these chocks. Having a nice cup of coffee. So I've just been chatting to the yard owner as well about getting Lulu out on her back so we can attend to the hull. And it turned into a huge big discussion about anti-foul and who needs it and whatnot. So let me just put this down. I'm going to show you the state of the anti-foul. So it doesn't look too bad here, but then you can see it's flaked off here, and then it gets a little bit worse sort of down here, and you can see there's a little bit of foul, so to speak, on there, but nothing that's going to slow her down or cause any problems. I'm a little bit tired of seeing little bits of flaking paint when I launch her, but this is the bad side. The starboard side's actually not as bad. This wood here, you know, it's pretty strong, and I've felt all the wood all the way down. It's pretty good. So we had a chat. We're not going to be able to put the copper coat on until the weather gets better, because it needs about 10 degrees to, and actually I've been told as well it's even better to wait till it's hot, so you can actually go round. By the time you've finished one layer, you're ready to get the second layer on, and you can keep going around. You can get it done in a day. So, you know, one of the issues I've got is the cold at the moment. Let's just get this. That's better. And so that's a problem. So I don't know. We've decided that we're not going to bother doing anything, and he said it's fine. It's flaking off, it doesn't matter, it's fine. So we're going to do nothing, and what we're going to do is plan to come back here for a week maybe during the summer, when we can, you know, even in between sails, and we can get her anti-fouled up, you know, in a few days with any luck, and get it all arranged, and we'll just do it at that stage rather than rushing the job now. So I've given the oil a bit of a going over on the bolt, and that one you can maybe just make out has come up open. I managed to get it open about a centimetre, and then it's just stopped. It's almost, the bolt has given up. I can't get anything to fit over that bolt now, but I should be able to get the Dremel behind there quite easily and cut that off. This side, the starboard side, is a different matter. You may be able to just see it's kind of embedded a bit in. I think you need some nice decent washers on the backs of these, but that is fast. I cannot get that out. Nothing, no spanner fits, and I'm just rounding the bolts off. So we need to get we need to cut them out really. But I mean, look, judging by the condition of them, yeah, this is a job that needed doing. So we're going to have to come back another day and cut those off. Let's turn our attention to other things. I didn't realise until I was getting under here that this has got a nice little gap in there, so a bit of water could get in there. So I wonder whether I should fill that up with a little bit of epoxy when I get the chance. Anyway, we are moving on to the battery box. How we want this to fit is like this, and yeah, to be honest with you, that's really good. I didn't realise that we had that little ridge there, so that's roughly how the battery box is going to be. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's a bit cockeyed like that. And then what we're going to do is stick these blocks to be honest with you, the battery box can go anywhere, can't it? I just figured because it's kind of heavy, it needs to kind of go in the middle a bit, and we've gone through that, why I want it in the middle. So the first thing that has caught my attention here is perhaps we have these blocks here and here, and we actually only have 2 blocks that we screw it onto, and we leave this side free. So we've only got 2 blocks that we need to sort of worry about. Now, the issue with that is, how the hell am I going to get in there to to screw those blocks in? That is going to be one hell of a let's just get the camera a bit better. That's going to be one hell of a contortionist act, isn't it? But which has made me realise perhaps we need to do the front opening. That's interesting, isn't it? I've just realised something which could have floored the whole thing. Oh, it's going to be tight to get the battery in and out of there. Well, we're going to have to do that. 15. Oh, and it needs to be a bit lower than that. Yeah. Made a boo-boo here. How high have we got this here? Yeah, I know the battery's 16 high. So we are not going to be able to have the battery box. The battery box is fine. We can't have it with a. We can't have the opening at the top because we can't get the battery in. We'd have to take the whole box out to get the battery in. And you know what? Let's get the lid. Let's get the lid on. Getting that lid open like that, and then strapping it down here and back there is going to be a pain. It's not going to work, is it? We're going to have to stick this on, and then we're going to have to have the opening for the battery box at the front, which is how I always had it. So we're just going to have to go back. We're going to have to we don't need a big, yeah, it just needs to go within there. It needs to be big enough for the battery to get in. But we're going to have to cut this out, re-epoxy that, and then this door is going to have to. We're just going to have to devise a way of making that watertight. Okay. Now, this is a little 12-volt panel connector that I was hoping we could just have in the fiberglass somewhere, like so, and it would just drill the right hole and just have the little connector out here. But this would be a perfect spot, but actually this is where the door closes up on. So the only real spot I can do it is here, and that is very, very tight for a 12-volt socket. And it's very, very thick there. It's almost too thick. I think it's too thick for this to fit. So the only other options we've got are to have it come through the deck here. By the way, I can't do it here because this bulkhead starts here almost flush with that, so I can't get anything in here. It's sealed. But we could have the socket here in the top here and just drill, in fact even drill one of these holes out that we've made already and have the socket like that. Now, is that going to be any less weatherproof? Answer to that is I don't know. I just don't know. But the other issue with it being there is, you know, we're going to be sitting on it, and I'm not keen on that. I mean, it's only a little bit. I don't think sitting on it's going to do it any good. I don't know whether I want it so close to the bilge pump. We may use some of these just to you know, make the wires good, just to help us. So what I wanted to do was just stick a couple of these on with the pads that are supplied. Now I'm pretty sure they're not going to stick on the raw fiberglass that we've got, you know, inside the boat. But out here, I'm going to stick one kind of here, just for a test. Out here on the smooth gel coat, they might actually stick down and behave themselves. We might not need to epoxy them down. I don't want something too permanent, just in case. I'm going to stick one on the side here, just on it, because that's... Oh wow, yeah. Now they might not be waterproof, but we'll leave them in the water. You know, we'll let the rain on them, and we'll see what they're like. But I'm actually quite impressed by the stickiness there. Yeah. So I'm just going to take another one of these little cable clips. I'm just going to stick it up kind of here. Or maybe, yeah, there'd be one here. And let's just see. Oh, do you know what? I reckon they're going to work like that. That's pretty cool. And we're going to see if they stick. We'll come back next week and we'll see, or next time, and we'll see where we are with that. Just having some minestrone soup and a bit of bread. All my cutlery gradually, slowly but surely gets transferred to the kitchen in my house. So I've only got 2 knives in there. I'm supposed to have 6. Let's get a plate out as well. I never fail to get excited by having my dinner in the camper van. It's really cool. So, thanks for watching. In many ways a really frustrating video that was, wasn't it? So I've had to call it a day. There's nothing else we can do. We've got loads of stuff to think about back at home, and we'll come back and we'll live to fight another day. So, you know, just goes to show things don't go your way all the while, do they? You know, so we have to rethink and try a different way. So I'm also got to remember to bring some tools, like I needed my drill, I need to drill some holes, things like that. And I have a really good think about these connectors and whatnot as well. See if I can find something a little bit better that will work, but also at a price point. So yeah, again, sorry about that one. Hopefully some of you will find the thought process interesting. Yeah, so I'll catch you in the next one.